see? What exciting adventures will we choose?
Hi again, it's
Darren and Susan from Retiredtimetocruise.
We noticed that a lot of you have really been enjoying watching our Laughlin videos.
Yes, and we really appreciate all the views on those videos. Thanks again.
We're making one more of one of our favorite out trips at Laughlin to
The Grapevine Canyon and the Petroglyphs that were started around 1100 AD.
It's really neat. It's only about 40 minutes drive outside of Laughlin. You get there by...
You head north from Laughlin on I-95, halfway back to the main highway to Las Vegas, and there's a turnoff to...
Christmas Tree Pass.
Christmas Tree Pass Road is a groomed gravel road, and we have taken every form of rental vehicle and our own personal vehicle on it over the last just about 30 years and never had a problem.
Right, it is loose gravel, but it is groomed well and it's easy to follow. Eventually, as you're driving down that road, you come to a sign that says Grapevine Canyon.
When you turn down that road, you will come to an outhouse, and they're actually real concrete bathrooms, and the park entrance.
Right, that's all that there is at the entrance of the Grapevine Canyon is a washroom and parking. There is no food or water or shelter even available. So make sure you sunscreen and bring along your own water and chairs if you need them.
And wear a hat. Definitely wear a hat.
Now, the hike to the Petroglyphs is actually a nice, easy, flat hike along a dry wash.
Yes, and it's all pea-sized gravel and small rocks, and it is very easy walking.
Think of it like walking on a gravel beach. A motorized scooter absolutely would be able to make this trek.
The walk itself is about a half a mile to get to the Petroglyphs.
And we've given you lots of footage of our walk to the Petroglyphs. Not so much walk from, but we've given you a little bit of the plants and animals that we saw along the way. We hope you really enjoy watching this video today.
That's for sure. We have one more left in our Laughlin series of videos, and that has to do with the flora and fauna of the desert floor.
As we're strolling down the path to Grapevine Canyon, we're going to read you what's actually written on the sign that we showed at the beginning. The petroglyphs are considered a sacred area of Spirit Mountain.
And the Grapevine Canyon is located within the Spirit Mountain Park area.
It's one of the earliest and largest petroglyph sites in southern Nevada.
It's a remote canyon, and it's sacred to the Yuma and Numic speaking tribes indigenous to this area.
The Yuman-speaking tribes include the Mojave, Wallape, Yavapai, Huvasupai, Quechan, Pai Pai, and Maricopa.
The Numic speaking tribes include the Chimu and the Southern Paiute.
The springs and plants in the canyon attract people and many animals, including desert bighorn sheep, which are integral parts of this unique cultural landscape.
The native rocks are darkened by desert varnish and covered with hundreds of petroglyphs chipped or scratched into the rock's surface.
Follow the short trail that's about a quarter mile long to the canyon entrance.
While visiting, don't climb on the rocks or panels. Even touching the petroglyphs can cause irreversible damage.
Be respectful. Take a moment to listen to the land, water, plants, and animals.
These precious resources will speak to you and reveal their natural beauty as they've done for thousands of years.
This is the first view you're going to get of the petroglyphs after we've walked in. If you look to the round rock to the left, it is just covered with petroglyphs, and then there's the black rock in the center at the bottom, and you can see some more. I'll zoom in and let you have a better, closer look. In this video, I've actually zoomed the camera quite frequently, so you can tell that you get a better view if you have some kind of magnifying system.
We've actually seen people with binoculars around their neck walking in and walking out, and I'm sure that that would be a big benefit as well if you couldn't get the elevation to see them up close, is that you could easily use your binoculars. Now when we walk in, we basically just take a bottle of water each, our hats, and away we go. And now we have seen people though that basically almost bring what looks to us like a picnic lunch. They have backpacks on. We've met young couples with children and kids in wagons dragging them along. You see all kinds of people in there taking and checking out the area.
Now, Darren and I are not avid hikers. We don't go very far if we don't have to most of the time. But there are people that go beyond the area where the petroglyphs are. You can continue hiking in the mountain, and we've seen lots of people enjoying the hikes. That's a little bit more rigorous of a hike. And we've also seen people hiking on the desert itself. Just make sure you don't get lost.
That's very important. Don't get lost. Now, going into the canyon though, I do remember talking to a couple, and they had spent the whole day walking back in as far as they could get, and were coming out basically the same time we were in the late afternoon. And they said there was some petroglyphs way deep back in to look at, but they said the effort they didn't feel was worth it.
Darren's research showed that there are
700 different petroglyphs and over 200, they call them panels when there's multiple petroglyphs together.
And again, they were put their best estimates around
1100, starting in around 1100 AD.
As far as we could find with our research, they don't really know what the petroglyphs are about. They think it's about the mythical creation story. The symbols include pictures of
sheep, definitely lots of sheep.
Animal-like gods. They've also got some just geometric shapes and suns and other godlike creatures. We can see Darren way up on the hill here. You're not going to see me anywhere because I'm doing all of the videos.
Now it looks like I have walked myself up a long ways, and it is a long ways, but it was a very easy walk, keeping in mind that all of the rocks are sitting on that pea-sized gravel, and it does make for a very easy walk. And it is interesting to me that all of the petroglyphs are on what they call the desert varnish side of the rock. And it gets like a dark tannin tint on the rock on the side, on those particular sides of the rock. And that's the side that they've carved the petroglyphs in. But the petroglyphs don't have dark colors covering them.
Right, they've stayed basically white for years. Most of them are white. Some of them are dark on the light rock.
And my thought process goes is that if the desert varnishes the rocks dark, how come the petroglyphs didn't get covered? Another one of those mysteries that we couldn't find an answer for when doing our research.
I particularly like the sheep petroglyphs. They're not a huge one, and they are a little bit difficult to find.
Well, and they are quite high, and you have to look up a lot higher than you thought.
Mm-hmm. There doesn't seem to be any vandalism in the area. We first visited this site, I think 15 years ago, but Darren says it was
Almost 30 years ago.
and it really hasn't changed in that time from our perspective. They've been very good about keeping it clean. When you look at the video that we've provided, you can see that the rock that the sheep petroglyph is on is as tall as Darren is tall, maybe even a little bit bigger, and Darren is 6'2", so it's on a really big rock.
It is a very interesting sight to see, and it leaves your mind rolling along going, now why would they have gotten way up there to put those so high out of the way? Was it to attract other tribes as they were walking through? Or was it just because they felt closer to God? We don't know.
Right, being that the Spirit Mountain is a sacred area, it could have been that they had some religious gathering at that point. Who knows?
And they've done a lot of rejuvenation to the area with the natural plants and flora and fauna. There's a whole area that's suggested to not walk in because they've got replanting going on.
Yeah, it seems kind of ironic to me. There's no fences preventing people from climbing up right where the petroglyphs themselves are, but there's a fence preventing people from walking where they've got some desert plants.
Yes, it does seem ironic to me. Speaking of walking to the petroglyphs, most of the petroglyphs are very high up in the rocks, and they do, I'd have to say, you would have to be a very skilled climber to make it to the touching part of the petroglyphs.
Well, the high ones at least. There are some that are quite low down, so if you're in a scooter, you can absolutely see plenty at a close enough distance to make it worthwhile.
Well, there's definitely lots that get your mind going, wondering what the ancient peoples of the area were thinking when they put those up, celebrating or attracting other tribes members. We really don't know.
There's so many of these square-looking symbols with kind of drawings inside, almost like a house. They're not a grid like a tic-tac-toe game. So I kind of wonder again what they were supposed to mean. Do you think these wavy lines mean a river or a snake?
That's a good question. And I guess that would be open to interpretation because we really don't know. And that is, to me, the best part about all of these secrets of the past is that when you don't know, it leaves your mind the possibilities to make things up.
Even though we've heard about snakes, we haven't seen snakes out there.
No, in almost 30 years, I've never seen a snake in that part of the desert. Oh, there's a sunshine, or at least I'm positive it's a sunshine.
This guy that looks like a person standing on something with a whole bunch of legs, or maybe lightning coming out or something, is so unique, and I just wonder really what that one means. Anyways, I hope you enjoy watching. At the end here, we've given you a little bit of a view of a cholla plant, cholla tree, cholla bush. They're called jumping cholla, C-H-O-L-L-A. And the reason they call them jumping cholla is that you only have to get within a very short distance and they will grab you. They will jump at you, and they are full of really sharp spines.
All it takes is to brush your pant leg by one once and you will never do it again. They are almost impossible to get out of your shoe or pant leg.
Other than that, we've shown you a little tiny lizard. The one in this picture, he's in the center, believe it or not. That one's only about 3 inches long. He's really tiny. You also see birds, all kinds of birds. We've even been fortunate enough to see roadrunners.
Oh, the old roadrunner, he's everywhere around there. It's not just one roadrunner, there's a whole slew of them.
And they don't look anything like the cartoons.
And they have no Wile E. Coyote chasing them either.
Although I'm sure there are coyotes out in the desert.
And we also have a picture of another lizard who's on a rock, and he's a little bit bigger. He's between 5 and 6 inches long.
Right, a little bit easier to spot, but you do see lizards in the desert all the time. So the desert itself is full of life. We have never had the pleasure of finding a tortoise, but apparently desert tortoises are all over in this area of Grapevine Canyon. Now here's a picture of some kind of a rodent hole.
Yeah, there's lots of rodent holes in the desert.
The rodents that we've seen are like chipmunks or ground squirrels. They're very frequent, and little mice or voles or whatever.
And Susan was so lucky she even managed to find a prickly pear in bloom.
Right, we're going to close the video with this beautiful blooming prickly pear cactus. We really hope you enjoyed watching this video today. I find the petroglyphs really fascinating.
It is amazing to think that they crawled way up those rocks and made all of those designs starting in 1100 AD.
That is amazing. Remember, we have one more Laughlin video to present to you, and we also have all of our different cruise videos.
We're on the Carnival Mardi Gras right now, starting a 6-month journey, and we will have lots of videos in the future about this trip as well.
For now, please enjoy some of our other videos, and thanks for watching.
Thanks again.
Bye now.
We're retired, it's time to cruise. Where will we go next? What will we see? What exciting adventures will we choose? We'll make new friends and make some plans. We'll post videos as we visit new lands. We love you to join us as we sail